Mr. Chairman, sir, thank you very much for giving me the honor of speaking on the President's address. The President's address is mooted on one concept of Amrit Kal, we have noticed. So I would like to know from you, sir, and from our other friends, what is this Amrit Kal? Amrit Kal hai kya? Have we crossed Achhe Din? Have we crossed Achhe Din? Or are we still to reach Achhe Din? Year after year, sir, these terms are invented. These terms are invented like Amrit Kal, Azadi Ka Mahotsav, Amrit Mahotsav. ये आज़ादी के अमृत महोत्सव पर मुझे दो शब्द कहना है कि we were very glad to see those whose genetic ancestors, whose political ancestors did not take part in the Azadi freedom struggle, were celebrating, were condoning, were making...
Please, House in order, please.
Sir,
please, Mr. Nasir Hussain, please go back to your seat. Please, House को in order रखिए.
Thank you, sir. As I was saying, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav became a celebration for the atonement of those who had not participated in India's freedom struggle. Those who had not. If you want, I can produce those documents. Now, talking of the other one, Achhe Din.
Please.
भाई साहब,
please,
बात करने दीजिए.
माननीय सदस्यगण, मैं आग्रह करता हूं आपसे, माननीय, प्लीज,
सर,
कृपया सदन में शांति बना रखें. माननीय सदस्यगण, प्लीज, माननीय जयराम रमेश जी, प्लीज. हाँ,
sir, I hope this time is not deducted from my very limited account. Now, we were talking about Achhe Din, Amrit Kal, we were talking about Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav. These terms are invented every now and then to distract attention. As I said, Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav was celebration, was an atonement by those who did not take part in the national freedom struggle. Aage badhiye, Achhe Din. Sir, I was most expectant, like many other Indians, to be part of the Independence Day of last year, 2022, because several promises were made that would happen by Independence Day 2022. The first promise was farm income will be doubled by 2022 August. Has it happened? I leave it to the wisdom of the House. There was another promise that was repeated and repeated over the social media and the IT cell of a particular party, that we are heading to a $5 trillion economy and that will be complete by 15th August 2022. Sir, we were nowhere near the $5 trillion economy. We were promised that we will ride the bullet train on 15th August 2022. Sir, only 25% of the work is complete. We were told that there will be electricity in every house on a 24/7 basis by the 15th of August 2022. Whether it has happened or not, I leave it to the House. We were promised that Indian astronauts will be up there in space by that date. I started looking up, but I couldn't find any Indian astronaut. I don't know whether these are promises, whether these are Achhe Din, whether these are part of Amrit. Somebody called them, from their party, called them Jumla. Now, this biggest Jumla was, as you know, that 15 lakhs in everybody's pocket. That is nowhere in the scene. Nowhere has it happened. But the movie that was opposed, Pathan, that represents the essence of plurality, that represents the essence of our oneness, has won through, has secured record earnings. Maybe the 15 lakhs will come from there. Sir, we believe in multiculturalism. We believe in multi-regionalism, looking at the smallest regions. Sir, one appeal that I make on behalf of my party and on behalf of the neglected people of Meghalaya is that Garo and Khasi be placed in the 8th schedule of the Constitution. An official request has been made. I repeat it. Now, coming back to the President's address, I repeat, I draw sustenance from paras 9, 10, 13, where discussion has been centered on corruption. As you can guess, the most live issue of corruption now is about a particular conglomerate. Now, enough has been spoken about that issue, but the only thing that I would like to highlight is the role of the regulatory authorities. Sir, I have observed the regulatory authorities and the civil service, the way the regulatory authorities collapsed in the face of hard facts when Adani Green Energy's share value shot up by 5,500% in 2 years, 2.5 years. No regulator, SEBI, did look the other way around. At every point of time, the Reserve Bank has failed us. At every point of time during this economic scam, the DRI has failed us. Of course, DRI did take some steps, to be correct, but certainly not consummate with the steps that should have been taken. The most glaring example of missing in action was the Enforcement Directorate and the PMLA. They were so busy raiding the opposition that they didn't find time to look at one of the biggest scams in the history of India. Our party has supported the claim to send this to a JPC. There is no point in discussing it in the House, but we would go one step higher, sir, and we should place forward a demand for a Supreme Court monitored inquiry. A Supreme Court monitored inquiry, time-bound, will be perhaps even a stronger way of ensuring that we are taken seriously. The whole House is taken seriously. Sir, this report mentions about poverty. But poverty, what poverty are you talking about? I mean, I'm unable to understand. Because the entire basis is a report, that is the Consumer Expenditure Survey that was done last in 2011-12, before this government came, 11 years ago. In the last 11 years, or rather 9 years of this government, they did not undertake any consumer expenditure survey. One report that came out in 17-18, they took it off the website because it showed an uncharitable picture of this government. We repeat that the final consumer expenditure survey that is finally happening should be put out in the public domain as soon as possible, so we know whether India's poor constitute 8 crores or more. Sir, the Prime Minister and others have said with a lot of pride that we have been giving free food to 81 crores. 81 crores Hindustanis are lining up for free food grades, and nobody can remove it now. Does it mean that 81 crores out of 240 crores are poor? You revise your lines of poverty. You revise your norms of poverty. But come forward with facts. Come forward with facts. And in tackling poverty, as everyone knows, it's popular schemes like Narega and others that help. But Narega has been slashed from 111 crores to 89 crores last year, and to 60 crores. And out of this, West Bengal has been selected out maliciously for complete stoppage of Narega. You should come to Bengal to see how welfare schemes are conducted. Without the success of such schemes, we could not have resisted the massive onslaught that was thrown at us in 2021. With all the power of state and all the wealth that was possible, the people of West Bengal rejected it with a 48% majority because of welfare schemes. Do take the trouble to come to Bengal for learning how to conduct welfare schemes. So one point I would like to draw the attention of my friends on both sides, that is very soon we'll move to Parliament House, a new Parliament building. Not 1 minute's discussion has been held with the users of Parliament. I have some insight because for the last 1.5 years I have been pursuing it with the minister concerned, who gives minister-type answers. Not one consultation has been held. We do not know what facilities are there. I inquired, they said, no, we don't have State Bank. Aapko State Bank ya banking ke liye baar-baar whose building says building karna hai. This space has been utilized for grand halls far beyond our requirement in the near future. And I see a plan behind these large halls. And you know that, sir. As it is, 50% of the members are outside in the lobby and doing their other important thing. So when the camera pans at this house, it looks half empty, as it is even now. But if the hall is made 1.5 times more, the TV camera will show that the honourable MPs do not take the House seriously. It is part of the narrative that Parliament is not required. Parliament has to be belittled. And in one state, Assembly, I'm talking of the state of Gujarat, Assembly sittings were reduced to 29 days in a year. Our is some similar grand plan of belittling the legislature, also on in the national Parliament. Secondly, sir, why did we talk of consultation? It is not only facility. Look at the building. Look at the grandeur of this building. That has lotuses, that has all Indian symbols all around. And you see that triangular building store. You won't get the same gravitas. You won't get the same splendor. At every point of time, and aesthetics has been cast upon us. That will be, the aesthetic will remain as a permanent memory of poor art. And this has been done by an architect specially chosen from Gujarat, who's taking 250 crores. 250 crores for advising on a completely unaesthetic building. We come to health, sir, because that is another point that has been repeatedly mentioned. Ayushman Bharat has saved 80,000 crores. I have gone through the entire health expenditure budget and find this is almost 100% of the budget. Where do they give these figures from? Where do they obtain? If the officers are misleading them, then let them question, where do you get such figures? You talk of 9,000 Jan Aushadh Kendras. Sir, one Kendra for 155 lakh people. And you are mentioning that proudly in your report. 155 lakh people will go to one store. Sir, is पर दिमाग लगाइए, कोई ना कोई दिमाग
conclude now.
Sir, 1 minute more, because 1 minute more only. The total is, our health expenditure total is just 3.6% of the GDP. I couldn't help mentioning. And the Western world has 12 to 19%. China has 5.5%. Mexico has 6%. And we are half. We should hang our heads in collective shame that we have not been able to look after the health sector the way we should have looked after it. So I thank you for the time given.
Thank you, Manya Jawhar Sircar ji.